Thank you for coming along to our 2019 Parent Volunteer Induction. It is greatly appreciated that you have given up your time this morning and are anticipating giving up your time into the future to support our students and their learning. We couldn't do what we do without you, and it is greatly appreciated. You'll notice that in the back of the room this morning there is a video camera going, and that is to film the section in the hopes that what we can do is streamline this into the future to make sure that we're not taking up as much of your time, and there's the possibility of completing this induction online, perhaps, just as a way of doing it digitally into the future. So we do have some things that we need to go through. I apologise to those people who have been in a session with me in the past. It is a repeat. So feel free to join in if you know any of the answers to questions or that kind of thing. So first of all, part of our responsibilities as an Education Queensland provider is to make sure that any volunteers, visitors or contractors into the school are inducted basically to make sure that our environment is safe for everyone who is on site. And it is mandated that there's an annual induction process. Responsibilities. So whilst you're on Education Queensland premises, you are acting as an employee of Education Queensland. That means that you would be required to participate in a student protection induction, and that will form part of this morning's session, that you'll maintain professional relationships with each other and the school staff, and that you'll adhere to the code of conduct and school guidelines that are in place at all times. In terms of the code of conduct from the Department of Education, or DOE, there are 4 parts to it. The first one is integrity and impartiality. That basically means that we are acting in an honest, fair and transparent way in all of our interactions. The second is promoting the public good. So in terms of the school environment, all that would mean is that we're working towards supporting student outcomes. Everything that we do is to support the children. The third is commitment to systems of government. So that's basically just making sure that we're acting in a lawful way and also abiding by the rules of the institution, which is obviously the guidelines that we have in place at Pallara State School. And the fourth one is being accountable and transparent in our interactions. There are occasions where we make mistakes, and basically it's just being honest and taking responsibility for our actions. In terms of student protection, in your role as a volunteer, there might be times where you suspect harm of a student or have a young person make a disclosure to you. Harm to a child is defined by the department as any detrimental effects of a significant nature on a child's physical, psychological or emotional well-being, and it can be caused physically, emotionally, through neglect, sexually or by self-harm. If you are in a situation where you suspect harm or it is disclosed to you, it's important to recognise the significance of these times for the young person. The first action that you need to take is document your concerns, and that needs to be done immediately following the conversation or immediately following the time that you take note. The second thing that you need to do is report it immediately to your supervisor. If you are working in a classroom, your supervisor is the classroom teacher. All of the Education Queensland staff undergo student protection training annually, and they are mandated to report as well. If for any reason the classroom teacher isn't available or you don't feel that it's appropriate to address your concerns with them, please come to the administration office and ask to speak to one of the school leaders, the principal or deputies. A little bit of advice though around managing disclosures. It's a significant time, as I said, in a student's life if they do trust you enough to take the time to tell you about something that's happening in their life. One of the things that we ask that you do or don't do is promise that you can make the harm go away for them. And the other thing that we ask that you don't do is promise to keep the sharing that they have undertaken with you a secret, because you are immediately going to break that promise to them. You are mandated to inform your supervisor. Please just listen carefully and reassure them that they've done the right thing by telling you, and explain that because they are being harmed or may harm, you need to be telling someone else about it. In terms of the Pallara State School guidelines, these are the things that we have in place for our volunteers at our sites, please just make sure that you sign in and out at the office every time you visit our school. We do that so that we can keep track of who is on site in an emergency situation. Some of you may have had your photograph taken in the past. That should still be on file, and you'll be asked to wear a visitor's badge when you are working in the classrooms. If you haven't had a photograph taken, when you come and sign in, the ladies at the front desk will start to do that as well. The second thing that we ask is that visits to the classroom are pre-arranged. The reason for this is that makes best use of your time and of the children's learning time as well. The teacher can then be prepared for activities or support that they will want you to do with the children. The third thing, please always refer to the teacher and follow their directions. They are the officer in charge of the class. That's not to say don't correct the children if they are trying it on, for want of a better word, while they are working with you. But please don't issue consequences, because it's most likely that you won't be there to follow it up. Just refer them back to the classroom teacher to manage. The fourth thing that we ask is please avoid any critical or negative comments about the children's dress or schoolwork, and that also needs to be the same if you are interacting with parents as well. Please be mindful of inappropriate language when you're working with the students. Families have different values about which words are acceptable for use at home and at school, but if you could be conscious of the words and language that you are using, that would be greatly appreciated. And the last one is that we ask all interactions with children should be regarded as confidential. That means that if you, for example, are working in reading groups and you notice the different levels of the children, the abilities, etc., you don't then go and share that information back to the wider community or that child's parents. That's not your role. That is the role of the classroom teacher. You may also be in the situation where you overhear conversations between staff members or a teacher to another parent. All of those conversations and interactions should also be regarded as confidential. If you are working with students during class time and you need to bring a younger sibling, that's absolutely fine. They are welcome as well. All we ask is that you please provide probably snacks and some kind of entertainment so that they're not disrupting their class, but they are more than welcome to come along as well. The last thing that we need you to do this morning is pretty much sign your life away. There are forms, these are our guideline forms. They have been updated this year to include the names and classes of your children. That will be added to our volunteer register and sent back out to the teachers so they know who they can count on to come for excursions, etc. during the year. Thank you again for taking the time to do this and for attending another induction session for many of you. It's greatly appreciated, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask us. Before we conclude today, I'd like to introduce Hayley Eggers. Hayley is one of our PNC members, and she's going to speak to us today about some volunteering opportunities for both TAPI and PNC.
Thanks, Lauren. Those don't know me, I'm a parent at school, and I'm involved in both the PNC and the TAPI CBA. So many of you are familiar faces who've already been involved in the PNC, and so are familiar with what it does. For those who don't know though, we're a bunch of volunteers who work with schools to improve the educational outcomes for our kids. So parents, carers, grandparents, or any interested community people can actually be involved with members of the PNC. And even if you're not a member of the PNC, you can still actually get involved in our activities. So being a member just means you can vote at the meetings, but we pretty much, if you've done this volunteer training and the school says you're okay, we say you're okay too. So getting involved in the PNC has many benefits. It's a great opportunity to get to know other parents and carers and the staff in the school community, as well as it's an opportunity just to try some new things, learn some new skills as well. Getting involved in the PNC also means you're just playing an active part in improving our school community and improving the educational outcomes for our kids. You can say you play a part in helping get extra resources and things. So how can you get involved? There's various ways, so you can come along to a meeting. So our meetings alternate between afternoon meetings and night meetings. Our next meeting is next Thursday, and it's going to be at 2:45 in the afternoon, and we're going to have teacher aides around who are going to help look after school age kids until 4 o'clock to help make it more accessible for everyone. If you can't attend meetings, there's other ways to get involved. We advertise these through the school newsletter, through our Facebook group, and through the school Q Schools app as well, so look out for those. A lot of what people see is the volunteering during the week, so that's like around tuck shop, Mother's Day stalls, barbecues, raffle tickets. There's some great ways to be involved. But we're also looking to make opportunities available for people who work during the week or who have young children so they can get involved as well. And so that could be getting involved at home or after hours, doing things like creating flyers for events or sourcing supplies when we have events on, or even just recruiting volunteers for events, putting together a roster even if you can't make it to an event itself. That's really helpful for us. So you can keep an eye out if any of those areas interest you, those opportunities will be available as well. I guess regardless of if PNC is an area you're involved in or not, heaps of ways to volunteer in the school. Everyone in our community can get behind the PNC just by positively speaking about what we're doing and behind our events. That goes a really long way to improving what we do in the school for our kids. And the other area I just want to briefly talk about is chaplaincy. So the chaplaincy committee in the school is a small group of staff, parents and interested community members who raise money to support the chaplaincy program in our school. We have to raise money to help supplement that, to keep Chappie Andrea here 2 days a week. If you'd like to chat about getting involved in that committee, we'd love to hear from you. You can speak to Chappie Andrea or myself or my husband around. But also similar to the PNC, our group run events regularly, so if you look out for opportunities to be involved, we'd love to see some faces. Thank you.
Thank you, Hayley. Okay, hopefully you have completed those forms whilst you were also paying very close attention to what Hayley was saying. If you would pass them over to us as you head out this morning, that would be greatly appreciated. Mark's available to collect, or alternatively you can just leave them on your chair and we will get them. Thank you again for your attendance this morning.